Haven't yet subscribed, do it now.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Freddie Hale Football Podcast. It's episode 11 of the podcast. A massive thank you for all of your support recently. I really do appreciate it. But today we're going to be talking about Chris Wilder and the reason he left Sheffield United. Do I think it was a good decision by the board, or whether I think it was a bad decision by the board? And also, guys, I want you to go to my Instagram, which I'll leave at the bottom of this description, and you probably have seen it already at the start of the video, and you also will see it at the end of the video, so stay tuned. But today is about Chris Wilder and my reaction to him leaving Sheffield United. So shall we get into the video? Let's go. But before we do, guys, please go down there and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, please share with all your family and friends. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you like today's video, please give it a like. Shall we get into the video? Let's go. Now then, my instant reaction to the Wilder sacking / leaving by mutual consent. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous by the Sheffield United board. That man has led them from League One to the Premier League. Now, you look at other managers in the Premier League who actually was in the Premier League, in Eddie Howe, who got born from League Two to the Premier League. And obviously, he did leave by mutual consent, Eddie Howe. But it's kind of the same thing with Chris Wilder. And I think, to be honest, he's been treated very poorly by the Sheffield United board. Obviously, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But Chris Wilder, it's really sad to see him go from Sheffield United. Obviously, I want you guys to let me know what you think of this situation. But Chris Wilder, at the end of the day, he is a manager that really done well with Sheffield United last season. They finished nearly in Europa League places, and for a team of Sheffield United, I'll take my hats off to them because that is absolutely amazing. But this season they are really struggling. Now in the league, they are currently sitting bottom of the league with 14 points. So I think they're down at the moment, which they definitely are. They definitely are down. So unfortunately, Sheffield United will probably be going down to the Championship. But it gives them the opportunity to rebuild and hopefully get back into the Premier League as soon as possible. Because as an Arsenal fan, I'd love to go to Bramall Lane. I've never been. I've been to their rivals ground in Hillsborough. But I've never been to Bramall Lane. So fingers crossed Sheffield United can come up next season. Now, Sheffield United don't have a bad team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, their team's not great. But they do have some decent players. Look, I'm not saying they have an amazing team. Far from it. But they have some good players. Sander Berge, who they signed from Genk. Also, Ryan Brewster. Yes, he hasn't lived up. He hasn't really been given the chance to play that much this season, to be honest. But Ryan Brewster needs... I think next season, he needs to be playing. Because that man will get the opportunity and hopefully he'll score you goals. A man that's worth 23 million, you expect the goals. So hopefully next season, he'll get the goals if he's given the opportunity by the new manager. And obviously, Paul Heckingbottom, ex-Leeds manager, is now at Sheffield United. And my instant thoughts of Paul Heckingbottom going in as an interim coach, I thought, okay, bit interesting, but it is only interim manager, so it'll be till the end of the season. But they lost 5-0 to Leicester City. Now, that is very, very embarrassing. And I really do hope a team like Sheffield United don't get thrashed again like they did to Leicester City. Because it was embarrassing yesterday. 5-0, Kelechi Ian Hatcho hat-trick. But if you look at Sheffield United's team, their captain, Billy Sharp, he is getting a bit old now. So hopefully he may get some goals next season and contribute to getting them up next season. But the Championship's a very hard league, guys. So fingers crossed they do stay up. But it's going to be very, very tough for them to do so. But Sheffield United have done exceptionally well in their first season of the Premier League, but I just think it's enough for them now, and I think they will be going down. Chris Wilder, then, my reaction. I think it was poor. Very, very poor by the board at Sheffield United. I really did wish they kept Chris Wilder until next season, end of next season, because Chris Wilder has done really well at Sheffield United, and he deserves so much praise. As a neutral fan, I think he's done so well at the club. So I want to congratulate him just for myself because I think he's done excellent at Sheffield United. But obviously it's come to an end now. I want you guys to let me know who you reckon will be going in at Sheffield United as the new manager. To To be honest, I'm not too sure. But I would like to maybe see Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe would be a decent manager. I've always rated Eddie Howe. I've always said that when we brought in Arteta, I would have liked Eddie Howe at that point. I thought Eddie Howe, and he is a really good up-and-coming manager. But we didn't get him, we got Arteta. But at the moment, Paul Heckingbottom is looking favourite. And I have family that support Leeds, and they said to me that Paul Heckingbottom wasn't a very good manager. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next season and whether Paul Heckingbottom picks up form and obviously tries to keep Sheffield United up. I don't think they will stay up. But who knows? This is the Premier League. It is a crazy season. Who would have thought West Ham would be sitting 5th in the Premier League? Because I didn't. But West Ham have done well for themselves as well. But we're not talking about West Ham. We're talking about Sheffield United. And Sheffield United need more players. Obviously, they're probably on the smallest budget in the Premier League. But they need a bit more. And maybe the board are trying all the things they can to try and get that team, striving again. But it's not meant to be at the moment, which is very sad for Sheffield United. But fingers crossed, they recoup in next season, come back into the Premier League, and then the rest will be okay. All okay? Yeah, rest will be all okay. But at the end of the day, it is ridiculous that Chris Wilder has been sacked / left by mutual consent, because it's like a manager that's had so much pedigree in your club to do that to him. It's embarrassing. I have heard though, this is just a rumour guys by the way, that he had a fallout with the backroom staff, so that's maybe one of the reasons why he left by mutual consent. But a lot of people are saying he's been sacked, he's left by mutual consent, so it is all up in the air at the moment. But unfortunately, Chris Wilder did have to leave Sheffield United. And, I don't know, Newcastle are linked with him now as a new manager, which I think would be an excellent addition to Newcastle, because Steve Bruce plays the most boring football in the world. He is the most boring manager in the Premier League, alongside maybe Sam Allardyce, because they both play the most boring football in the world. But, as a fan of the Premier League, obviously I support Arsenal, as you can see. Let me just stand up. There you go. Lovely. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, and a neutral fan, just like a normal fan of the Premier League, I was going to say neutral then, I'm definitely not neutral. As a normal fan of the Premier League, Sheffield United, the way they treated Chris Wilder is appalling. And I really do hope Sheffield United need to give the fans that opportunity now, because to come back up into the Premier League, because at the end of the day, Chris Wilder could have easily gone and won the Championship next season, but he's looking worrying now to get Paul Heckingbottom, because his record don't look great. But hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please subscribe, like and share with all your friends and family. I've been Freddie Hale, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Freddie Hale Football Podcast. See you later, guys.